Who would have thought that in just an hour and a half, a movie could feature an astonishing 39 twists and turns? You really can't guess the truth until the very last second. The story takes place in Spain in 2016. The protagonist, Adrian, is the owner of a tech company, successful in his career and happily married, seemingly living the perfect life. However, recently, he was framed and accused of murder by the police. In order to win this case, Adrian hires Virginia Goodman, a renowned lawyer who has never lost a case in her decades-long career. Goodman arrives at Adrian's place promptly, surprising him by being 3 hours early. Goodman explains that time is of the essence. The police have found an eyewitness to the murder, and the prosecution plans to make a decision tonight. The current situation is very unfavorable for Adrian. Goodman insists that Adrian must cooperate fully and disclose every detail of the incident, otherwise she won't be able to defend him effectively in court. Thus, through Adrian's recollections, the entire incident begins to unfold. It turns out that Adrian had been in a clandestine relationship with renowned photographer Laura for many years. Recently, Adrian received an anonymous text message claiming to know about his relationship with Laura and blackmailing him for 100,000 euros, threatening to expose their affair otherwise. Adrian immediately agreed to the blackmail. According to the provided location, he and Laura went to a remote hotel. They waited for a long time, but the blackmailer never showed up. Finally, losing patience, they decided to leave. However, as Adrian was packing up, he was suddenly attacked and knocked unconscious from behind. When he woke up, he was horrified to find Laura mysteriously dead in the room. Before he could react, the police burst in. Adrian raised his hands and desperately tried to explain that he didn't do it. However, the police found no one else in the room, which was locked from the inside. The hotel windows were always locked, making it impossible for anyone to have left the room. Given the overwhelming evidence, Adrian was arrested as the prime suspect, though he was quickly bailed out by his legal team. Through Adrian's narration, Goodman learns the entire story. Adrian insists that he was framed, but Goodman is puzzled about the motive behind framing him. If the killer was only trying to blackmail him, why go through the trouble of killing Laura and framing him? Moreover, why didn't the killer take any money? Clearly, the killer's motive was not financial. The seasoned Goodman quickly realizes that Adrian is hiding something. She pulls out a newspaper article about a missing boy. Looking at the news about the missing boy, Adrian becomes visibly agitated. Pressed by Goodman, Adrian reluctantly reveals a hidden secret. 3 months earlier, he and Laura had a secret rendezvous at a hotel. On their way back, a deer suddenly crossed the road, causing Adrian to swerve and collide with an oncoming car. They anxiously checked on the other car's driver and discovered a young boy had died in the crash. Shocked by the scene, Adrian was about to call the police when Laura stopped him, fearing that reporting the accident would expose their affair and ruin their reputations. After a brief moment of contemplation, Adrian chose to comply. Just as they were about to leave, his car wouldn't start. At that moment, a passing driver stopped to offer help. To prevent exposure, Laura quickly pretended to be the car's owner and told the driver they were resolving the issue. Inside, Adrian was panicking. Suddenly, the boy's phone rang inside his car. Laura swiftly claimed it was a call from the insurance company and ran to the boy's car to answer, pretending to talk to the insurance agent. In reality, she quickly pocketed the phone and covered up the bloodstains she noticed on the ground. Fortunately, the driver didn't suspect anything and left. Adrian and Laura then hid the boy's body in their trunk. Adrian went to dispose of the boy's car and body, while Laura stayed behind to wait for a tow truck. As night fell, Adrian drove the car to a secluded lake. Despite his immense fear, he made the fateful decision to push the car, with the boy's body inside, into the water. Watching the car sink, Adrian felt an overwhelming sense of guilt and despair. Meanwhile, Laura, who was waiting for help, encountered a kind older man. The man, upon learning that Laura's car had broken down, immediately offered to tow her car to his garage. Little did Laura know this encounter would mark the beginning of her nightmare. Upon arriving at the garage, the man began repairing Laura's car, while his wife warmly invited Laura inside. As they chatted in the living room, Laura noticed a photograph on the table and was horrified to recognize the boy they had hit earlier was the couple's son. Realizing the truth, Laura became visibly anxious and fearful, desperate to leave. Just then, the man announced that her car was fixed. Feeling guilty and panicked, Laura hurried to leave. However, as she was about to exit, the boy's phone, which she had forgotten to dispose of, rang in her pocket. Seeing that the call was from the older man's wife, Laura quickly hid the phone under the sofa in a panic. Following the sound, the older man found his son's phone under the sofa. His wife was puzzled, remembering their son had his phone when he left. Realizing she was about to be exposed, Laura hurriedly left, with the older man noting down her car's license plate number as she adjusted the driver's seat, an action that caught his attention. Unbeknownst to him, the woman he had just helped was involved in his son's death. As Adrian continued his recollection in front of Goodman, he recounted how Laura had told him about her encounter with the couple. Following Laura's advice, Adrian took his car to a chop shop for destruction and fabricated a business trip to Paris, reporting his car as stolen. They agreed to cut off contact after this. Though they thought their plan was flawless, the boy's disappearance soon attracted police suspicion. The police initially believed the boy had accidentally driven off a cliff. Watching the distraught older man on TV, Adrian felt a surge of guilt. Unbeknownst to him, the man had already suspected Laura, noting her strange behavior at their home. He informed the police and provided crucial information. The older man explained that he had spoken to his son on the phone before his disappearance. After the woman involved in the car breakdown visited, his son's phone mysteriously appeared under the sofa. With this lead, the police traced the car to Adrian. However, Adrian had his alibi prepared, the Paris trip and the stolen car report, which helped him avoid suspicion. Later, Adrian took a risk and met Laura, who now seemed like a completely different person. Adrian informed her that the police suspected her, but Laura remained unusually calm. She had discovered that the boy worked at a bank and used her husband's position to transfer a large sum of money into the boy's account, creating the illusion that he had embezzled funds and fled. Indeed, this tactic worked, and soon the news reported that the missing boy had embezzled money and fled. Adrian and Laura were completely cleared of suspicion. Life returned to normal for them. Adrian's company successfully entered the Asian market with its advanced technology, and he was named Entrepreneur of the Year. Everything seemed to be going well. However, at the awards ceremony, the older man, disguised as a journalist, confronted Adrian. He suspected his son was dead because he knew his son would never commit such a crime or disappear without contact. He was convinced that the woman involved in the car breakdown had something to do with it. Furthermore, he noted that the woman had a companion. He clearly remembered her adjusting the driver's seat, indicating she wasn't the one driving initially. The older man suspected the driver was Adrian. Despite the confrontation, Adrian maintained his composure as the older man had no direct evidence. The older man's disguise was soon discovered, and he was escorted out by the event staff. Through Adrian's account, Goodman pieced together the entire story. Adrian always insisted that the killer who framed him must be the driver who passed by on the day of the incident. He had previously received an anonymous photo, and the scene in the photo was very similar to the lake where he disposed of the body. The driver must have noticed something, pretended to leave, and then secretly followed him to take pictures of his crime, blackmailing him. After all, when he pushed the car into the lake, he vaguely heard a strange sound behind him. However, Goodman disagreed. If the driver only wanted to blackmail him, why didn't he take any money? And how did the driver escape from such a sealed room? Clearly, Adrian's testimony was full of holes and would not convince a judge in court. Goodman deduced that only the older man had a clear motive for murder, knowing that Adrian and Laura had killed his son. The older man's motive was not for money but for revenge. Adrian was puzzled by how the older man had managed to frame him so perfectly. Goodman soon provided an explanation, showing him a newspaper from the day Adrian was arrested. The older man's wife was in the photo, and she worked at the hotel. Clearly, the older couple had meticulously planned everything. The older man had entered the room early to commit the crime and frame Adrian, escaping through a route planned by his wife. When the police entered, the older man's wife locked the windows, making everything look logical. Hearing this, Adrian was in awe of Goodman, fully trusting her from that moment on. Goodman revealed that she and her team had long suspected the boy's father. Goodman truly deserved her reputation, finding a breakthrough with a single detail. However, Adrian was stunned when Goodman suddenly dismissed the lead involving the older couple. It turned out that the older man's wife wasn't working that day. The woman in the photo wasn't actually the older man's wife. Goodman had doctored the photo to test Adrian's honesty. Goodman was convinced Adrian was still hiding the truth. At this moment, Goodman received a call confirming that the eyewitness was indeed the passing driver. Adrian panicked, knowing that if the driver testified, he would be convicted of murder. Goodman then suggested shifting all the blame for the boy's disappearance onto Laura. Adrian had an alibi for the day of the accident, being in Paris. They planned to frame Laura for hitting the boy, abandoning his body, and using the bank system to fabricate the boy's embezzlement and flight. Adrian's only crime would be hiding the accident. Goodman asked for the exact location where Adrian sank the car. After receiving the information, Goodman slowly walked to the window, signaling to someone outside. At that moment, Adrian revealed a chilling secret. When he pushed the car into the lake, the boy wasn't actually dead. As the car sank, Adrian heard the boy banging from the trunk, but he still let the car sink. Adrian needed Goodman to prepare for when the police found the boy's body, and the autopsy revealed the true cause of death. Goodman seemed outraged by Adrian's actions, calling him a disgrace and a murderer. She regained her composure and assured Adrian she could help clear his name, but only if he told her the whole truth. Adrian finally admitted he had killed Laura. Goodman, claiming to need a break, stepped outside for 10 minutes. While she was gone, Adrian received a call from his lawyer, stating they had bribed the eyewitness. Adrian noticed something was off with his phone, and realized Goodman hadn't taken any notes during their conversation. And just now, the pen Goodman had given him leaked ink, soaking his shirt. When he inspected the pen, he found a listening device inside. Adrian was shocked. He looked incredulously at the opposite building and discovered that Goodman was actually the older man's wife in disguise. Panicking, Adrian knew it was too late. He had confessed to killing both the boy and Laura, and everything had been recorded. At that moment, the real Virginia Goodman arrived. The older man, who had heard Adrian's confession, immediately called the police. In reality, it was Laura who had suggested reporting the accident and dealing with the body, but Adrian orchestrated everything to cover it up. After parting ways with Adrian, Laura fell into deep depression, haunted by guilt over the boy's death. She eventually confessed the truth to the boy's parents, hoping to make amends, but Adrian, fearing exposure, killed Laura and staged the scene to make himself appear innocent. The Invisible Guest is a masterfully crafted film that explores themes of guilt, deception, and revenge. Its intricate plot and unexpected twists make it a must-watch for crime mystery enthusiasts. As the film concludes, viewers are left contemplating the moral complexities of Adrian's actions and the lengths people will go to seek justice.